Good morning and happy Monday. It is another wonderful start to our work week. Welcome to Breakfast with Bridget. Bridget is still on vacation, so you guys have me, Crystal Moyer, here to cover this morning. We have a lot to talk about, including a dip in temperatures. I know a lot of you around the Central Florida area dealt with some rain over the weekend, and that front is bringing some cold temperatures, but not for long. We'll get with meteorologist Candace Campos to talk a little bit about that. We also have a traffic alert to tell you about if you're about to head out the roads. And speaking of traffic, AAA came out with some new numbers about some record breaking travel that's going to be happening during the holidays. So we're going to speak with our News 6 reporter, Ezzy Castro, who has been along the turnpike all morning to tell us about the numbers and some advice for you who may be traveling via the roadways this holiday. We do have breaking news out of Marion County. Overnight, there was a shooting at a nightclub that involved a deputy and another person. After the club got out, the deputy was shot several times. So we'll get an update on that with Mark Lehman. And then some schemes and ripoffs to talk about. You know, Mike Hofeld is always telling us about some schemes that's just been stumping people throughout Central Florida and, you know, the whole entire U.S. So this one has to deal with cryptocurrency and romance. So we'll talk a little bit about how, you know, some of these people are scheming by getting to people's hearts. It's horrible to see this time of year. And then we have a $44 million lottery ticket unclaimed from our area. So the deadline to claim that money coming up very soon. We'll talk a little bit about that as well. And of course, talk about the Angel Tree program. We've been, you know, we did a phone bank for it, raised a lot of money. Well, we finally have the Joy Center all set up. We've been partnering with the Salvation Army and BFAR Contracting. And so we're going to see a little bit about what we do here at News 6 when we adopt our own angels and a special shopping spree that a couple of our anchors got to go on to help those in need. All right, so without further delay, let's go straight to our weather with meteorologist Candace Campos because it is some areas in the 40s this morning.
Yeah, it's chilly. Did you see some cloud cover and some rain last night?
I did. I went out to walk the dog and I saw that, you know, the ground was wet. I didn't hear anything. So I was like, okay, at least it was quiet where I was.
Yeah, I had to bring, I wanted to bring in I have some like little wooden like reindeers and stuff like that. I'm like, I just don't want to get them wet. So I ran out there real quick and scooched them in. But I had one of my neighbors had one of the big inflatable Santas.
Yeah.
And Santa was
Leaning.
outside. I was like, I hope they anchored that thing down well because, you know, the winds were certainly picking up. So, but you know what? Although we were taking the rain out, the breeze, that's going to continue in the forecast today, tomorrow as well. So it's going to be windy. So if you're watching us now and you say, you know what? Did we really secure our inflatables? You might want to check. You might want to check on them later on today. All right,
Might end up in a neighbor's yard.
Yeah. Oh, look, someone donated their inflatables to us. That was so nice of them. All right, let's take it to the maps, give you an idea of what's going on out there. Yes, it is certainly a chilly start. And the reason for all the cloud cover was because we had that big cold front that came through Central Florida late yesterday, finally clearing out some of that cloud cover in the forecast. So here are your weather headlines. Colder air, it is back. Temperatures are going to be dropping off nicely. As we head, though, into your Monday afternoon, the breeze will also be picking up out of the northwest right now between about 10 to 15. We'll pick up with gusts upwards about 20 to 25 throughout the day, but it will be staying in the 60s this afternoon, so be prepared. And the rest of the week, though, back to normal. We'll be back into low to mid 70s starting as early as your Tuesday. But right now, if you are heading out the door, we're at 43 degrees in Ocala, 49 in Sanford, 58 in Cocoa Beach, sitting about 50 degrees in Kissimmee. But look where we're heading. Temperatures will be staying in the mid to low 60s across Central Florida. So 63 will be your high in Leesburg. Same throughout Sanford and Orlando. A touch warmer for you guys in Central and Southern Brevard County, but nearing about 60 degrees in Daytona Beach. So as we take you here hour by hour, look at your winds throughout the afternoon out of the northwest between 10 to 15. Could see gusts up to about 25. The winds will continue even though temperatures will be warming up by your Tuesday. But before we warm up, we're going to drop those temperatures one more time. You know, the coldest morning is always the second morning after a front. So even though it's certainly a blast of cold air this morning, certainly a big change compared to what we dealt with over the weekend. The coldest weather will be felt tonight and into early tomorrow morning. So 38 will be your wake up temperature in Ocala. We'll be in the 40s and 50s across our coastline as well. And as you can see here, getting results, breezy today and tomorrow. We're going to actually ramp those winds up even further come Thursday and Friday. We have a high to our north, the stationary front that came through is going to be down to our south. So when you have a strong high and a strong low together, it really tightens our pressure gradient. If you think of like standing between a building on a breezy day, it kind of squeezes all that wind right down those roads and streets. So that's kind of what we're going to be dealing with the next couple of days. But with that, temperatures are going to be back to near normal. We'll be back into the mid to low 70s. But yeah, certainly a shock to the system after temperatures this weekend. We're in the 80s, Crystal. We're starting off this morning in the 40s and 50s, only warming up into the 60s. I know we're giving away some Gaylord ice tickets for our insiders, right?
So those have all been given out. We actually gave out several sets of those, but we have so many other contests going on, holiday related. So you want to tune in because I think there's like 4 of them going on right now, including $750 holiday shopping spree.
Yes, please sign me up. I mean, I'm already signed up to be an insider, but I can't win. But
you don't qualify.
But I was talking about ice. We talked about it a bit on the show. It was so funny because my family and I went to ice this weekend, and you have to prepare for yourself. So, like
gloves, jackets.
Even though they give you the parka, you still need to come prepared. So everyone had the hats and the jackets and the gloves and all this stuff. We looked ridiculous getting out of the house to get into the car.
Everyone's like, "Where are you going?"
The car early. Yeah, we started the car early and blasted the AC so it would be cold in the car. So we did. I was so thankful that we don't have to dress the kids for like snow because I was exhausted after putting like 5 layers on.
It's a lot.
I don't even want to get dressed.
But I bet it was so worth it because that attraction is 9 degrees. So let me tell you, if you do not have those gloves on, closed-toed shoes, jackets, you will just run right there and struggle.
Yeah. My oldest, by the end of the walk, because she was touching all the ice, her hands started getting cold, even with the gloves. She started crying. She's like, "Mom, I think I have frostbite." I'm like, "You did not have frostbite."
You
but stop
just
crying,
don't even know.
Your tears are going to freeze. Your tears are going to freeze. So she was like, "Oh, okay."
Did they go down the slides?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Those slides go down fast.
Oh, too. And they have the new ones too with the bumps and the incline.
Yeah. Yeah, it was great. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun to watch them go down. I did not. I was at the bottom recording.
You're capturing all the footage, all the memories.
I was nice and toasty, yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Candace. It's always a pleasure speaking with you, and we'll get an update with you later on.
You got it.
All right. So we want to get to a traffic alert, too, because if you're traveling in Seminole County along I-4 westbound, it's turning into a bit of a mess. Why? Because there was a crash involving injuries. Here's a live look at the DOT cameras. This is I-4 heading eastbound, you could see, but it's the westbound lanes affected by this crash. Blocking some lanes, FHP says injuries are involved in this one, and this is near Lake Mary Boulevard. The exit's right there, as you could see. So heavy delays building in both directions at the crash scene. I'm still waiting to get exactly more details on how many vehicles are involved and things of that nature. But you could see off to the right-hand side of your screen, there is an FHP vehicle and a car there, but it looks like the crash is a little further west along I-4, so allow plenty of extra time. If you could take an alternate route, I definitely would, because we are seeing traffic backed up for a couple of miles I saw last on the map that I just checked. So hopefully everyone's okay. We'll get some more details, but I'm just letting you know, if you're about to head out, you might want to give yourself some extra time or take an alternate route. All right, speaking of travel, we've been talking about AAA's latest numbers that they've released on the travel that's going to happen from Floridians. Of course, a lot of people head out for the holidays, whether they drive or they fly. But this year is a very special year because AAA is saying some records are going to be broken this year as far as how many people are going to travel. So let's bring in News 6 reporter Ezzy Castro, who's been along the turnpike all morning long, to give us some details on these numbers that have been released. Ezzy?
Hi, Crystal. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing? Keeping warm?
Good. Yeah, it's not that bad, actually. I do enjoy this weather, but yeah, no, they're saying 115 million Americans will go 50 miles or more from home during December 23rd and New Year's Day. So think about that, 115 million.
Mm.
That's a lot of people.
Oh yeah. And they're taking either I-4, I-95, I-75, one of our roads.
Well, yeah. So so 6.6 million of Floridians are expected to hit the road this year,
Wow.
or expected to travel. So yes, a lot of them will be taking the roads, according to AAA. And 356,000 are expected to fly this year, which we all know during this time of year, you go to the airport, it is going to be busy. I mean, I know that a few weeks back we were there for Thanksgiving, just the day before, and I realized that the rush hour time is either really early in the morning or at late at night, or like, around dinner time is where, a lot of people start traveling as well. But definitely when we were there that morning before Thanksgiving, I remember seeing the lines pretty long. I don't know if you remember that day, but it was busy. So we are expecting another holiday season, just busier than ever. That's what they're saying.
So I'm guessing you're with Photog Goose, and I know you guys have some advice, especially if you're going to travel. So tell me a little bit from your personal experience, and if Goose is around, if he's not out trying to get all of his gear together, what do you guys suggest?
He's actually not like around me right now, but definitely, I mean, just be aware of your surroundings. I think
Mm-hmm.
he's, when we're out here, we're kind of always, watching our bags. People are not really paying attention because they're in a rush, or
Mm-hmm.
they're obviously, we got to be here at a certain time. If we don't get there on time, then we're behind. So I think there's a lot of that during the holiday season. We see it when people are out shopping too.
Yeah.
People are not realizing what's going on. So I think that would be my biggest advice: just be aware, be alert, and have patience too. Because I mean, you're gonna get traffic.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be traveling right before Christmas, and by New Year's, between those 2.5 weeks, yeah, you're gonna get some traffic.
And remind us again which days are expected to be the busiest for travel coming up.
So they said, according to AAA, that the busiest for the roads, December 23rd, which is a Saturday, because
Mm-hmm.
Christmas Eve is Sunday, and then the second day would be Thursday, December 28th. So
Okay,
right
people
before that
probably
New
getting
Year's
back.
week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
or going somewhere for New Year's. Yeah, it could be either or.
Mm.
I'm traveling right after Christmas, so I am going to be part of that. Part of the millions of Floridians taking the road. I'm going to be traveling from December 27th to the 30th. So yeah, like right along that week, we're gonna be leaving the state, but we are taking the cars.
Ooh, so
We're driving.
is this gonna be Eliza's first like big trip?
I think so. Yeah,
Oh my
she's already gone to
goodness.
South Florida. Yeah, but this is the first time we're taking her out of the state. Yeah, so and that's another advice too. If you got little ones, make sure you do have plenty of stuff to entertain them with, because I know that she loves Elmo. She loves to watch Elmo.
So
And
you're
some
prepared.
Spanish. Yeah, I'm prepared. We got Elmo, and then we got some Spanish YouTube videos that she likes to watch, because we are teaching her Spanish. But then there's, I'm going to read her some books, have some toys with me, just to kind of keep her entertained, and hopefully she takes a nap. That's the biggest one, right? Let them nap.
Of course, she'll stay awake the entire time.
She's very alert. Yeah, she is. She is.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Ezzy. I hope you have a wonderful
Yeah,
day with whatever you're covering later on, but we appreciate you checking in here with Breakfast with Bridget.
absolutely. I'll see you around, Crystal.
All right.
Bye.
Have a good one. Bye. All right, so making a shift here to some serious news, because out of Marion County, as a club was getting out on Saturday night into early Sunday morning, there were about 100 people in the parking lot. A shooting broke out. Two people were hit, including a sheriff's deputy. That deputy shot multiple times, but is expected to be okay. Mark Lehman was actually at the scene today, saw the bullet holes still on buildings, and he has an update from the sheriff.
This morning, a search is underway for the person who shot a Marion County deputy and another person outside a nightclub over the weekend. The shooting happening just after 2 Sunday morning as people were leaving Club Time off of Southeast Mary Camp Road. According to investigators, deputies were helping with security when someone fired several rounds. Sheriff Billy Woods posting a recorded message on social media with strong words for the shooter.
I will find out who you are. I will hunt you down, and I will bring you to justice.
Investigators say the intended target of the shooting is unknown, and there were more than 100 people in the parking lot at the time. With so many witnesses, Woods called for the community's help.
Someone saw something, heard something, and knows something. And I need that citizen to have the courage to come forward to give us information.
Meanwhile, one of the owners of the nightclub took to social media sharing a statement saying in part, apologizing for each and every one that had to experience that incident that took place last night in the gas station plaza. Our prayers go out to the officer and his family. He was not doing anything but keeping our guests safe.
That was our news reporter, Mark Lehman, reporting on that story. And again, the officer, the deputy who was shot multiple times in both legs, is expected to be okay, as well as the other person who was shot. So we're still waiting to get more details on that. But of course, Sheriff Woods is urging anyone who has any information, because a lot of people were there, might have seen something, might have heard something, to come forward so they can catch this person responsible for this shooting. All right, we are going to take a quick 30-second break, but don't you go anywhere. Breakfast with Bridget featuring Crystal Moyer will be back in about 30 seconds. Welcome back to Breakfast with Bridget. Bridget's on vacation, so I am here, Crystal Moyer, to fill in. Bridget will be back later on this week, but we got to keep the show rolling. So let's talk next about some schemes and ripoffs, because investigator Mike Hofeld has been talking about some crazy schemes that have been going on, especially during the holidays, where people are getting tens of thousands of dollars and life savings out of people throughout our area. And this one particularly, from the IRS, are issuing a consumer alert for a crypto scheme using romance to not only steal people's hearts, but their hard-earned cash. It's called pig butchering. And News 6 investigator Mike Hofeld has the story.
We find that the most vulnerable population is middle-aged to elderly individuals.
Social media cryptocurrency scams built on trust, romance, and lies. The feds call it pig butchering.
Pig butchering, it's a terrible term, but it's basically the concept of fattening a pig before slaughter.
The IRS Criminal Investigation Division has linked these romance schemes to India and China.
As a victim is contacted out of the blue, sometimes on social media platforms, oftentimes on dating sites or platforms like WhatsApp.
Tara Reed is the acting special agent in charge for the Tampa field office.
The pictures that you've developed emotional attachment to is not the person you're communicating with.
I'm ashamed and embarrassed.
Mary Miller lost $10,000, transferred through an ATM Bitcoin machine. She thought she was helping someone who loved her.
I was so in love.
Her case is not unique. In 2022, the FTC found nearly 70,000 people reported a romance scam. Reported losses, listen to this, a staggering $1.3 billion.
What are the victims losing?
Anywhere in the six figures, 100,000 or more of their life savings to these fraudsters.
Gone in a few seconds.
Absolutely.
Mike Hofeld getting results, News 6.
That is just insane that so many people are falling for these schemes, especially during the holidays. A lot of times people are using the internet, they're using chats to connect with people, and you're thinking you're meeting somebody and potentially a loved one or a partner, and that person is asking you for money or asking you to get gift cards or to put money into a crypto ATM, don't fall for it. If you have family or friends and maybe they're out purchasing a lot of gift cards or saying, hey, I met this person online and they're asking for money, kind of question them about it, because a lot of times it's just people scheming you. And it's so tough to see people lose so much money, their retirement, their hard-earned money to these types of schemes, and sometimes they don't get them back. And it's hard to locate these people responsible. So just a consumer alert for you all out there, especially during the holidays, to keep an eye out for. Well, some good news. Instead of taking money, somebody is going to get some cash money, because today is the deadline for somebody to claim $44 million. It was a quick pick lottery ticket that was actually purchased in Central Florida at the Sunoco gas station along North Orange Blossom Trail in Kissimmee. It was for the June 14th drawing. So according to the lottery, you only have 180 days to claim your winning. So, until midnight, this person has to claim their $44 million. So I hope they do. You just never know how these things work, because when someone wins a lot of money, they probably want to get their affairs in order, maybe get an attorney. In Florida, when you win the lottery, your information is public. So a lot of times people don't want their name out there, because all of these extended family members might come forward and claim they know you. So they might get someone to claim it for them, maybe an attorney. So I'm just curious, how long is someone going to wait to claim $44 million? So I know what you're thinking. What happens if nobody claims the money? Midnight, nobody claims it. Well, what actually happens, according to Lotto officials, 80% will go to the education fund, and then the remaining 20% of the unclaimed lottery winnings will go back into the pot for a future drawing. So, more money for the next person who decides to play, and more money for, education in Florida, which is nice. But wow, can you imagine having that winning ticket and you don't even know it, and you miss out $44 million bucks. Woo! All right. So, of course, we'll give an update if someone does claim that. If it's one of y'all, it'd be nice to give a little donation to the Crystal Moyer Fund. Take me out to dinner. Anyways, we are nearing the holidays, and it's something near and dear to our hearts. I'm talking about the Angel Tree program. We partner with the Salvation Army and BFAR Contracting to help 6,000 kids and seniors have a wonderful Christmas. Ezzy Castro has a report about the Joy Center. That's where people will pick up all of their gifts this holiday season.
Let's go.
Right after this, we'll probably after.
It's a tradition here at News 6.
Oh man, Ezzy's
Picking up and loading up bags full of toys, clothes, and bicycles. All of it going to children, part of the Salvation Army's Angel Tree program.
Just in the back of results one.
Yep.
And this year, we did things a little bit different. We used Results 1 to do the special delivery at the Joy Center, which is where volunteers are getting things ready for Distribution Day.
Look at these guys cruising in front of us here. I almost feel like we're in a little private escort.
While on the road with Trooper Steve, we spoke about how the Angel Tree program is more than just about giving gifts.
I think this is obviously, for us, and I said this earlier, I said, it's more than just an event. It's more than just a partnership. I think genuinely every single soul at News 6 really takes this seriously and dear to their hearts, because
we look forward to it.
Yeah, and we meet these families.
Yeah,
and, we
you get to have one-on-ones with them.
Yeah,
I don't know how you do it, but
I do it with God's strength. Because let me tell you, those stories, they're pretty heavy sometimes. And like I said, I just think that a lot of these folks, a lot of these families, they just want someone to listen, and they just want to open up and share their story.
Because we've seen where people have been recipients of the Salvation Army.
Yes.
They've been able to overcome whatever obstacles that have set them back, and then they're out there donating their time and volunteering again. And it's I think that's what it's about.
Upon arrival, volunteers right away got to work.
Here we got volunteers at Salvation Army unloading Results 1.
Then inside, a sneak peek of what Distribution Day will look like for thousands of families next week.
this is what it's all about. This is what it's leading up to. Next week is distribution. I made sure that I was here with Ezzy for this because next week I'm out of town. So still hanging out. She's still saving me right now from this kamikaze gnat right there.
But I really do want, like, I'm giving you a hug because, you know, this is important to us.
This is my girl here, so don't worry, guys. This is what we do.
At the Joy Center, Ezzy Castro getting results, News 6.
I love to see that. You know, gift giving during the holidays is something a lot of us take for granted, and there are families out there who are just in need of some support. Well, if you'd like to get a gift from us and you're a News 6 Insider, we've got you covered with several contests going on right now. We're giving away a family 4-pack of tickets to the Asian Lantern Festival at the Central Florida Zoo. We're also giving away several sets of tickets to Island H2O Water Park's Holiday Nights. They have transformed the park into a holiday wonderland, and $750 cash so you could shop with the Dunkin' Holiday Shopping Spree. We thank you guys so much to be a News 6 Insider. It is free. Just head to clickorlando.com/insider. We'll see you tomorrow for Breakfast with Bridget. I'm Crystal Moyer. Thanks for joining us.